Let's see here. Kadia, loot. You're thinking about this too deeply, Kadia. Don't search them or rummage around their corpses, just loot them. If done correctly, you should have a tally of their current inventory and should be able to abstractly pick them from their bodies with little muss or fuss. Skyrim inventory system. Kadia, you're not actually contemplating gutting those creatures, are you? I mean, aside from the mess, I doubt body parts are very valuable, although if that top corpse weren't in the way, the fellow under it seems to have clothes and a bag. Take all the wolf's teeth now. Take only the armor parts of the clothing. Use your claws to separate them from the thread. Check their necks and their pockets for jewelry. Ugh. Oh yeah, you can kind of see that bag there. Okay, now that makes a lot more sense. You proceed to rummage around the filthy corpses. Regarding your health, isn't your laughably low alcohol tolerance somewhat worrisome? Like, if you've been drinking for at least 5 years, and heavily so at that, so shouldn't your body have gotten used to it by now? Have you ever had any recollections of what we've done while drinking? If not, does that sound normal? Look, you seriously don't want to think about booze, drinking habits, or anything like that right now. That's always when things start to go downhill for you. Coleve is counting on you to stay sober and finish his job, and to have no intentions of even tempting fate this time. Kadia blep. But if it answers your questions, yes, you realize your low tolerance is unusual. It's been that way since you first started drinking, and for whatever reason hasn't changed much since. And no, you don't black out every time you're drunk. Sometimes in the mornings you can remember every one of the dumb things you said or did, and it usually makes you feel 1,000 times worse about yourself. But whatever, it doesn't matter anymore. You've drunk for the last time ever, and you're leaving those days behind you. You're well on your way to becoming a constructive, respectable member of the Imperial Society. You're going to forget all those old problems, get a job, make some friends, join a guild, buy a house, normal people things. You're Kadia Monaghan now. People are going to look at you and see more than a worthless Khajiit who messed up every opportunity she was ever given for friendship. You've hit some bumps, yeah, and you've started to accept that this isn't going to be easy, but you know you can do it. Kadia Monaghan can do it. She's brave. She doesn't have to hide her face in a tankard every time something goes wrong. She's strong. And when things get tough, she can just shrug it off and keep moving forward. Failures happen, you guess, but hey, maybe things are starting to look up. Caddy, I just remembered this. You can use the wolf's mane/fur to make some cloak of sorts, or even other sorts of clothing. Maybe you can sell those for an average price. Plus, you'd increase your leatherworking skills. Wink. Maybe even merge the gray-haired goblin's piece of clothing with the fur to create some sort of ultra-stylish outfit that every traveler would want to wear. Would be a hit. Ah yes, smithing of zero. Fair enough. Okay, well, your awesome wolfskin armor didn't turn out that great, but other things are still looking up. Just don't let the blood set into the robes. Across the road you spy the vague form of a mountaintop city. Kvatch! You're almost there, and it's about time, too. For this entire trip you've been kind of worried that something horrible would happen when you least expected it, completely negating any progress you made, but no! You're totally gonna make it to Kvatch, and deliver Quellweave's letter and earn some money and find some friends and oh my god, you could do anything. You excitedly catch up with Asotil to make sure that this is indeed Kvatch and not some kind of horrible, hope-dashing mirage. He confirms this is Kvatch and says you'll arrive within the hour. Hopefully you've found your journey along this fine Imperial road to be adequately safe, just, and lawful. You tell him the trip was nice, but you're glad it's almost over. Your inventory bar is getting really full by now. Asotil declines to comment on this. Kadia, clean up. Kadia, try to clean that blood off your fur and clothes. You'll need to look presentable when you reach Kvatch. Yeah, don't let that sit in. Actually, who am I kidding? If you actually get into a fight, there's gonna be blood. Right. You'll be the very paragon of presentability. You rub the blood out of your fur and clothes as best you can. Move your inventory into its new carrying case, and throw your now empty hood back over your shoulders. You make sure your alchemy ingredients are safely stored for later sale, and wrap the wolf pelts up so they don't get blood on anything else. And also, just to be safe, you double and triple and quadruple check that you still have Quillweave's letter. Knowing that you might actually have a chance to do something right is a little nerve-wracking. You're not taking any chances here. Kedia, inspect the ring. Put it on. Is the ring made of some valuable metal? Maybe it's magical. Does it make you feel magical? Be a ring of light, and thusly utterly useless to Kedia's eye-bleeding racial power. Yeah. Hey, even if a magical light ring would be useless to you, it would probably fetch a good price among humans, elves, or anyone else who can't see in the dark. But no, looks like it's just a fairly ordinary copper ring. You know, the kind of thing that people who have money wear to look prettier. You shove the ring onto one of your hideous cat-like fingers and confirm that it has no apparent magical properties. It's not okay. You guess it does make you feel a little prettier, though. What does Asotil have in his hand in that last panel? Is that the flask? A flask containing alcohol? Kedia, look, ask Asotil what's in his hands. If it's booze, ask for just a sip. Just a sip. What booze? It's just a glass of water. A glass of special poisoned water that only Legion patrolmen can safely drink. Yeah, no reason to pay any attention to it or believe that he may have offered you a swig. Where was that? I didn't see him carrying that in any previous ones. You decide to hang back a bit and pretend you're picking more plants while Asotil finishes drinking his water. Your leg is feeling much better by now, so walking without the staff isn't much trouble. Anyways, you're almost to Kvatch, so it's probably good to stretch your legs a little. An inviting column of smoke rises from the front of the city. Someone must have made a campfire nearby, perhaps to cook some delicious food. You think you can make out the scent of bacon, but that might be from one of the taverns you passed. Just ahead, the road forks in two paths. At Asotil's command, the horse stops. Alas, fair Khajiit maiden, Asotil begins. I'm afraid this is where we must part ways. While I wish I could individually protect every single citizen of Cyrodiil at all hours, I have duties to which I must attend. The path to your left will lead you up to Kvatch, and I hope the remainder of your trip goes smoothly, even without the unparalleled protection of the Imperial Legion. You tell him that's fine. You understand. The city's only like a quarter of a mile away, and you can probably just yell for the Kvatch guards if anything comes up. Thought you had to drop the dead bodies off with the Count, though. Asutil explains that Count Goldwine has apparently been very busy lately, as he has requested that all his justice reports be forwarded to Countess Umbranox until further notice. Anyways, there is more pressing matters that the Legion must attend to as soon as possible. You mentioned you had evidence of a robbery. Oh right, Gavrog's receipt. You almost forgot to even list it in your inventory. You hand Asotil a small slip of paper and thank him for taking his crime so seriously. Let's see here. Skingrad Kvatch Anvil. Wow, I'm surprised I could read that. He says it's the Legion's job to take every single crime incredibly seriously no matter what. And a highwayman using the Legion's very own patrol schedule to endanger the lives of innocent civilians? A travesty like that must be reported to the commanding officer of the Imperial City at once. Hopefully this single receipt will be enough to get the patrol schedule shifted and additional reinforcements deployed. Whatever his superiors decide, he promises that the Green Scourge will be apprehended as swiftly as possible. The song of justice cannot be extinguished, and the glorious light of the Empire will never silence. If you have any further questions before you set off, he says, I'll be happy to answer them. Kedia, though the trip to Kvatch might have gone swimmingly, recall that you still have to make a return trip to Anvil. Ask Asotil when he'll be heading back to Anvil. You tell Asutil that you are a bit concerned about the return trip when it comes time for you to leave Kvatch. You told your best friend you'd be back within 4 days, and if you stay any longer, she might get worried and send out a search party or something. At least you're pretty sure that's something she would do for you? Anyways, there'll be a patrol. Will there be a patrol or something in the next couple of days that I could travel back with? Don't worry about it. If this trip to the Imperial City goes swiftly, then I will receive a copy of my new schedule and will be able to tell you when and where to meet me. If I'm not back by the time you leave, well, this road is usually quite safe. And after an especially busy Justice Day like today, it can take a while for new criminals to move in. The road should be safe enough for you to travel on your own, as long as you leave within the next 3 days. That shouldn't be a problem, you say? You can't think of anything that would hold you in Kvatch for that long. He adds, my patrol schedule currently has me leaving Kvatch at 5. You may want to do so as well, in case the Green Scourge has not been apprehended by the time you leave. If you agree, that is probably a good idea. Better safe than sorry. Katia, bid farewell. Notice the illegal fire someone has started on the road south of Kvatch. Also, is that fire? Acetyl squints at the distant flames and says, it's probably nothing to worry about. The citizen over there in red robes looks to have the fire controlled properly. Oh, phew, you say. For a minute you were getting this feeling that something really bad was going to happen. Guys. We ought to keep it short for now. Katia, give Asotil a hug. Oh, also thank Asotil for being such good company, and most of all, for believing in you. Wink. Well then, you guess this is it. You thank Asotil for all his help. I probably couldn't have made it here without you, and it really means a lot to me. And, well, I know it sounds sappy and stuff, but I just wanted to thank you for believing in me and for helping me and for taking me seriously and not just treating me like a loser with a magic dream and for making it seem like I could do anything legal as long as I put my mind to it. Most people don't really treat me like that. I was just doing my job as a just and honorable guard by helping an innocent civilian in need. With any luck, my actions will have made your life and all of Cyrodiil a safer place. I wish you luck on the remainder of your travels, and I hope that your time in Kvatch serves you well. Tal going crazy. Why, it seems you still have some blood on your belt. Oh, thank you, you say. It's probably soaked in by now, but you can just turn it inside out. Without further delay, Asutil mounts his steed and sets off for the Imperial City. You call after him once more, thanking him once more for everything he's done and wishing him good luck on his own journey. He throws you a quick nod in response. Stay safe, citizen. Stay alert. Right now, Katia is at the proverbial 10-yard line. Not that I expect her to understand what that is. What with the type of luck she gets, this is exactly the point where she's going to get hit the hardest. Because her luck always seems to turn the worst right after she started to feel good about her situation, and right before she actually manages to accomplish anything. You don't have to believe in fate to recognize patterns. Wow, that's a super depressing way to look at everything that just happened. Uh, yeah, you recognize you've had this kind of pattern somewhere. Just as things are looking up, everything tends to come crashing down. But back home in Hammerfell, you had patterns as well. Every day, you disappointed yourself. Every night, you drank the disappointment away. There was no silver lining. No hope that maybe tomorrow would be better. You lived your life knowing you were worth nothing, and that wouldn't change. It was the same inescapable pattern every day, but you escaped anyway, or maybe Katia Monaghan did. And sure, things haven't been going completely perfect for her. Yeah, there's that troubling pattern you described where things that are going well end up backfiring horrifically, but you just have to keep reminding yourself it's still better, even if you can only be happy for a fleeting moment before it's taken away from you. That's more than you had before. At least you finally have hopes to dash. And hey, if you're able to break a pattern once, maybe it will happen again. Everything bad that's happened since you arrived, maybe it's all in the past now. Maybe it was all just the short, painful prequel to something great. Something that, over these last 2 days, is just the beginning. Second time we've had the name drop of prequel. So, yeah, who gives a care in the world about patterns? From here on out, things are gonna work. You're gonna deliver Quilly's letter, get her a new book, find a job, and make all the friends. And become the Katia Monogon you believed in when you first stepped off that ship. Things are going to be different this time, and you don't care what luck, destiny, pattern recognition, narrative foreshadowing, or whatever else has to say about it. Get moving at Get moving at fast, but not hurried pace. No need to injure yourself accidentally, and please keep an eye on your surroundings. Paranoia in healthy doses is a very good thing. Kadia, you really want to check out what's making that fire, don't you? Admit it. The curiosity is just eating you up inside, but you must be careful. Cautiously approach, I thought was gonna be a cat pun. I was so ready to read catchiously approach and just cringe, but then it wasn't. Okay. Make sure that who/whatever made that fire doesn't see you before you see it. Perhaps use your excellent Khajiit climbing skills to hide in a tree and spy for a while. I think that's a Tabaxi thing from D&D, not a Khajiit thing from Elder Scrolls. You promptly disregard all this perfectly reasonable advice and excitedly scramble up the winding mountain path as quickly as you can. This is gonna be so great. Kadia, hurry to the city. Stop for nothing. Everything worked great up till now, and you don't want that to change. Proceeds to lose their satchel. Ooh. Kadia, since our cautious words suit not your will, embrace thy doom. More weird than Galahad's Excelsior, brave Khajiit, charge that hill, and boldly seize the bovine by the nads? What? This feels like a quote that's been reworded to fit the story, but I have no idea what it's trying to quote. I've heard of Galahad's, and I've heard the exclaim Excelsior before in like medieval writings, but I don't have a clue what this is trying to make a joke at. Hey there, guys. I know this was a shorter episode, but the next episode's gonna be a bit long, so it will even out. We are just about to make it to Kvatch and, well, get to see around the town a bit maybe. So, I'm gonna leave it here, and I'll see you in the next episode. Anyways, see ya!